Hello folks, this is Sula once again. Welcome to another video for Teamfight Tactics. I was planning on not doing any more videos for set 4 before set 4.5 came out, but then I realized that set 4.5 wasn't dropping until a Thursday, which was later in the week. I was expecting it to come out on a Tuesday or Wednesday, so I figured there was time to do one more video of set 4 before set 4.5 came out. And so we'll do one last game for the road here. This game is especially noteworthy because this is a game where I was still trying to get the TFT pass experience for having 6 brawlers. So you're going to see this is the game where I finally was able to get a brawler chosen, and as a result was able to play my way to 6 brawlers, and then we'll see where the team comp's going to go from there. Spoiler alert, I'm not going to play 6 brawlers at the end of the game because at least here in set 4, playing 6 brawlers isn't really all that good. So let's go ahead and just narrate what happened. In the last video I did kind of a review of set 4 in general, but this time I want to focus more on the actual gameplay, just to do one more cast of this set, which I enjoyed quite a bit, and then we can get to set 4.5 where things are going to get shuffled up and everything's going to be scrambled and really crazy for a little while after that set comes out. Which should be just a day or so after this video gets posted on YouTube. So what do we have here? We have the minion rounds. I had a gold drop initially, and so I used it to purchase the initial board of champions. Since I didn't have a champion, I might as well just buy up the whole board. And here, once again, I still haven't had a chosen offered yet. So once again, I'm just picking up a couple champions here. When I don't have anything particular offered in the way of champions, I will typically just by default go into a bit of a sharpshooter with tanky frontline setup. It's kind of been the default setup that I play if I haven't found anything else. There certainly is the possibility for other stuff here. There were a couple different mages here. There's like the Lulu and the TF. This could play into an Elderwood Vagar setup, but I don't really have items for that. So instead you see me sell the Maokai, and then I go ahead and pre-level to level 4 here, which is actually going to end up being bad considering what I play into later on, but of course I didn't know that at the time. So for right now, I toss down the Jarvan, and I get the Nidalee, and although I still haven't had a chosen offered, I'm going to try to do the best that I can to take advantage of the items that have appeared thus far. So no pairs, or no two-star units here, no chosen. So this is not the strongest setup, and I'm going to try to move my units together. And I figured I'd try to make a locket on the Katarina. That's the best way I can use these items. This is not ideal. I still have a chain vest on a Vayne, who is not really a champion who wants the chain vest. But I do get a nice Jarvan ult there, and if Cat can get her ult off, I actually have a chance to win this fight. So yeah, Cat actually gets off a really good ult. Is it going to be enough to win this fight? Let's wait and see. If Nidalee can get off another good spear, I might be able to sneak out a win here in a fight that I have no business winning whatsoever, since this person had a chosen and a pair of 2-star champions. So yeah, I really have no business winning that fight, but I am able to win it anyway. And then I find the Maokai, and I was like, all right, well, that's a brawler. I finally get the brawler chosen I've been looking for forever. So I'm gonna shuffle up this team comp. I will sell the Katarina, sell the Jarvan, put in the Tom Kent's chosen, and put in the Maokai. And now I'm just looking to find one other brawler so that I can get up to 4 brawlers, which is that gigantic 800 health for the early game. Right now, set 4.5 is currently showing that brawlers are going to add extra AD as well as the extra health. I'm not sure that that's a good idea. We'll see how that plays out. I've heard that the just stacking a lot of brawlers is actually really strong because they all get massive AD in addition to the health. But we will see how long that lasts in 4.5, if that even makes it into the release version of 4.5. Here in set 4, that is not the case. We do not get the extra damage, but the sharpshooters are enough to carry us. And look at this tremendous flop there on the champion role. I end up getting the 2-star Vayne and the 2-star Nidalee, which is just amazing. So now I will have damage, and if I can get brawlers, I'll have frontline to go along with it. So this has worked out really well. I've been able to 2-star a pair of sharpshooters and get that locket for extra health locket. Still a great early game item. And I just put it on the Tom Kench, who makes him even tankier. And I actually have a pretty strong starting setup here for the beginning of the game. Somewhat surprisingly, this was not the comp I was expecting to play into, but one of the reasons why I think the Chosen mechanic works so well is you get a Chosen that is appealing, and all of a sudden you can flip up your team comp to take advantage of it. Just promotes more flexibility and encourages people to be creative and not just toss in the exact same units in every single game over and over again. So actually win that, don't even lose the unit. That Tom Kench chosen brawler chosen with the locket, pretty hard to kill in the early game. And now I've got these leftover, what is it? I have a leftover chain vest on Vayne. So the most ideal item here would be to find a BF sword. But since I've won the initial 3 rounds, I'm not really expecting to get that BF sword off the carousel. Still, we'll see what happens and try to make the best use that I can. Vayne really not a unit that you want to put the chain vest on unless you can turn it into a guardian angel. Still, we want to make use of the items we have if we can, so let's see. Sure would like to get either that Nunu or would like to get that Vi so I can sell the Vi. Pick up the BF sword. The BF sword is still there for right now, but unfortunately they both get grabbed, and at this point I'm like, okay, well none of these items are really good. So I end up grabbing the whatchamacallit, the belt off of the carousel. I'm actually going to use this to make a Sunfire Cape on Vayne. Vayne is a horrible holder of a Sunfire Cape because she really should not be tanking damage from the enemy team. But I don't really have that much of a choice. It's make use of this or don't make use of anything. So I'm actually, well, I guess for the moment I ended up tossing in the Thresh to make Dusk. I think that I believe that I do eventually sell the Thresh and make a Sunfire Cape on Vayne, but I might be remembering from later in the game. I'm still looking for another Brawler to complete the Brawler set, and I go ahead and grab the what is it? Not Maokai, the Hecarim, just because it gives me another Vanguard option. But I'm really hoping I can find another Brawler. In fact, I want to find 5 Brawlers so I can get up to the 6 Brawlers and finally achieve that pass XP requirement that I've been sitting on for ages and ages and ages. Now, this team comp is stronger because it has that Kindred to play through, and Kindred with a death cap and a blue buff is actually really quite strong. So we just need to finish cutting through the front line, which we do. Thankfully, Tom Kench is tanking like to a ridiculous degree, and so I'm able to keep that win streak going and play into the rest of the round there. I will grab the extra Vaynes. One other thing I can do is if I can get 6 Vaynes, I can sell that starting Vayne and then move that chain vest over to someone who's a better user for it, which would be something that would be nice to do. But we would have to find another Vayne. I'm not willing to sell the 2-star Vayne just to play I'm not willing to sell a 2-star Vayne to play a 1-star Vayne. There we go. That's what I'm trying to get across there. And I'm really hoping I can win this round so I can extend the win streak into the minion round. And, well, yes. This is apparently an AFK player or someone who's not here, so I don't know. I don't know what this person's doing, but I will easily take that win, and we'll move on into the minion round with that 5-match win streak intact. Another player also seems to have a 5-match win streak, Dino Jesus here, who is playing Moonlight and Hunter setup with Aphelios. So still have not found another brawler yet, so the streak of not having brawlers continues, but am happy to sit here at 30 gold in the bank and reap that passive income and see what comes out of this minion round. So, alright, so far so good, as I said. 5 rounds, 5 wins. Always nice to get out to that good start. It pumps a lot of extra income into your pocket, not just from the win streak bonus, but again, you do get 1 extra gold every time you win a round, and that is significant in the early game when you're trying to get up to that extra money. So here I end up getting, let's see, we've got a needlessly large rod and a brawler's glove, and I wouldn't say that this was the most ideal minion round, so I've got some options that are not super appealing here. I've got, a trap claw, jeweled gauntlet. Like, this is not really what I'm looking for here. I don't really want to make another locket, but that is an option. I do get some useful stuff here, though. I do find the Vi and the Warwick. So the Warwick is obviously a play between the two of them. There is that Sunfire Cape that I mentioned earlier. Not a good item on Vayne at all, because Vayne should not be frontlining, but I wanted to make Sunfire Cape so someone else could use it later in the game, and so I figured better to make use of it than just have the item sitting on the bench. So that's what I'm going to do here. And then I've just got these leftover pieces of a potential jeweled gauntlet. but that's kind of all that I have here. Those weren't the items I was looking for at all. Not really the most useful stuff. But I'm still hoping to continue this win streak. Now I have the 4 brawlers in, so that means a ton of extra health for all my brawlers, 800 health. So hopefully they can just survive long enough, soak up damage so that Vayne and Nidalee can do their thing. I do realize here that Vayne, if she's going to have the Sunfire Cape, I should switch her position with Nidalee. If you note, Nidalee was actually getting hit by enemies. If Vayne was standing over there, her Sunfire Cape actually would have done something. But it looks like we do have enough to win this round. My damage is a little on the low side, so I need to look to try to fix that. Also, it helps that that other player had like 6 items that they weren't using for some unknown reason. So yeah, I'm going to switch the position of those 2 units. And then I can go ahead and, what was it, pick up another, oh yeah, I pick up Thresh in case I want to put Dusk back into the comp again, just to splash that extra, what is it, 20% spell power to everybody. And I go ahead and make Jeweled Gauntlet on Nidalee. It's honestly not that bad of an item on her, because it causes her spears to do a lot more damage. And then since I'm on the 6-match winning streak, I level and put in Thresh. And my hope is that this will be enough to keep my win streak intact. I come up against someone who's also made it to level 6, and apparently they're lost streaking because they are level 6 with like maximum gold. So I'm not exactly sure how they've been that rich. I guess they've just been like super greedy as far as money goes. But we're going to be able to win this round. Thank you again for not using your 4 items. I don't really know what this person's doing. I mean, yes, they're rich, but they're also on 40 HP on stage 3 too, so looked like they're headed out of the game pretty quickly. And the other player that was AFKing is now out of the game as well, so you get some weird stuff in these normal games, but I still have not lost yet, and if you note, that other player, Dino Jesus, still has not lost yet either. So one of the 2 of us is gonna surely hit one another soon. It's a little strange we haven't hit each other yet, but that can happen. When players get knocked out, it resets who you can hit. And so sometimes when there's some players like AFK, you can have these long mutual winning streaks where 2 players just have not hit one another. And then I do end up hitting Dino Jesus, but I hit this person's ghost, which is not what I would prefer because hey, if I'm going to beat this person, I want to at least do damage and end their win streak. So this is kind of like a no-win scenario here. If I win, I don't do damage to the other player, but if I lose, my win streak comes to an end. And unfortunately, this comp, oh, that Jax manages to get off one last dodge. And it doesn't look like I have quite enough here, so I am going to end up losing that round to this Moonlight comp. Looks like that Aphelios was just a little bit too strong, or I was lacking in damage, so that person's win streak continues, and mine unfortunately comes to an end. Still a great start to this game. I'm in very good shape from an economic perspective, but I'm not in the like godly state that the other player, Dino Jesus, happens to be in now. Okay, so another carousel. I have no extra items left over right now. I don't have any components that I'm looking to pair. So it really comes down to just what I want off of this carousel. Now, again, unfortunately, I don't have any of the items I really want. Like, I don't have any BF swords or anything like that. So I'm just going to take the Chain Vest as most expensive champion available. It is on Ashe, a 4-cost champion. I think all the other champs were mostly 2 cost. There's also a Xin Zhao there with a cloak, but the cloak doesn't really build into anything I'm looking for right now. So just take the most expensive available, look to go from there. And that way I can sell the Ashe, grab that Thresh, and since I'm not on a winning streak, I will sit here at level 6. If I was still on a winning streak, I would have pushed to level 7 here, but pushing to level 7 doesn't do that much for me. All it does is put in Vi. Vi only makes 4 brawlers, not 6 brawlers, so there's not much incentive to do that since I'm not on a winning streak. And now I just need to find either Silas or who's the other brawler that I'm missing. I guess I could theoretically at level 7 I could find Set, but that's unlikely to happen. So more likely I'll look to find the Silas and make 6 brawlers that way. Alright, so we're up against a Warlord comp here. The big danger with this comp is trying to get through the Garen. Once we can get through the Garen, we're in reasonably good shape. One of the problems for my comp, though, is if you can see, it's not great when it comes to damage. I'm kind of need the Nidalee and the Vayne to do damage, and they're just, I've started to fall off by this point in time. So even though I felt like we probably should have won that round, we ultimately didn't because I just didn't have enough damage. And as I said, it's kind of the weakness of my setup right now. I need another damage source to play through, which I'm really lacking. I guess I technically have the Warwick, but 1-star Warwick with no items is not going to do much. the Tahm Kench is a tank, the Maokai is basically a tank, the Thresh is like a tank and shield person. I also got lucky. I hit that person right before they make the 3-star Garen. So that could have been a lot worse. I would have lost really badly if I'd hit that person when they had the 3-star Garen in play. But that's what I need right now. That's the problem with my comp. I need to find more damage. I don't have a consistent damage source right now. I have a Vayne with a freaking Sunfire cape, which is really bad, and I have a Nidalee who has a jeweled gauntlet, which is fine for the beginning of the game, but as we're hitting the end of stage 3 here, we're about to hit stage 4. This just is not a consistent source of damage. It does, it can like assassinate one unit, but doesn't deal consistent damage. So that's what I need to find, and that Kindred who has good itemization just puts out way more damage than any of my units do. So that's the issue right now is I need to find a way to get a better damage source here. So let's see. I believe I go up to level 7 here. Toss in the Kindred, just because that gives me Hunter. It's another source of damage. Again, a 1-star Kindred with no items is not going to do very much, but it does give me another source of damage. And again, what I really want to do is I really want to find another brawler so I can play these 6 brawlers. And then after I can get that pass XP requirement out of the way, then I can look to make a stronger comp and go from there. And again, these items, not really what I'm looking for, unfortunately. Not a lot in the way of damage here. So I believe I actually roll here because I'm like, come on, can I just get like one more brawler here and then play 6 brawlers? I'm like, come on, can you give me something here? I will pick up the Ashe because that seems useful. It's like, come on, give me a brawler here, please. There's another one of the Kindreds. I was like, seriously? How much gold am I gonna have to roll here to find another brawler? And then finally Nunu shows up. I'm like, thank you for finally showing up, Nunu. So now I can toss this in, finally run 6 brawlers for 1 round. This is like the game where I ran 6 vanguards for 1 round. And then after that, I can look to make some kind of an actual team composition here. Like I said, I need something that has damage. That's the big issue right now. Yes, it's really nice having these super tanky champions, but I just don't deal enough damage to kill anything right now. And yeah, like you're seeing that happen. So, I mean, Tahm Kench is incredibly tanky. He'll hold up there forever, but like we just don't actually kill anything. And so that is the problem with the comp. I lost 4 rounds in a row. Obviously, I need to fix this. So let's go ahead and move some of these champions out. I also had unused items on my bench, so let's move Riven in. That'll make the Dusk. And let's drop the Vayne, and I'll move the Vayne over. The reason why I do that is I want to get the Sunfire Cape in. And for the moment, we'll put in the Aatrox. So now I can start putting defensive items on Riven. Again, I've mentioned this before in other videos, but here in set 4, if you have all defensive items, it's very hard to carry with just defensive items. So I often find myself playing through Dusk just because I've got a gazillion like defensive items, and you can actually play through that with Dusk because Riven can make use of them and still be a strong champion. But I need to move out of the Brawler 4. Brawler 4 is not really what I'm looking for here. And like you can see, Riven is doing a great job with that Brawler's Vest, or not Brawler's Vest, with that Bramble Vest and that Sunfire Cape. She's actually doing a ton of damage. And so that has solved my biggest issue. Yeah, see, Riven, top damage dealer. That has solved my biggest issue right now, which is the lack of a consistent source of damage to play through. But this is still not going to work long term. I also want to make better stuff with my items here, but I don't see any of these items combining together into something I want. Like, I don't really want Redemption. I would make it if I had to, but it's not what I'm ideally looking for. I don't really want Ludens, and I don't have a good user for Morellos right now. So none of these are Riven items. None of them are going to be that useful. So I'm just holding them for now, even though I hate having 3 unused items on my bench, and then looking to make something out of these off the next carousel. We're only 1 round away from the next carousel, so I feel like I can hold out that long. I'm not feeling super good about this comp here, about Trico's Warlord's comp, who has gone ahead and made that 3-star Garen. I don't have any realistic way of getting through the Garen. There's also that Katarina who gets off a nice ultimate. See if how many Riven can kill before she dies. So she does a decent job, but no way of getting through that Garen. I'm going to need to make my comp stronger if I'm going to deal with that person. They've been win streaking ever since they hit the 3-star Garen. All right, so I have decent carousel priority here. So I've got a number of different choices that I can look to make. Let's see what we end up grabbing here. So I will go ahead and grab the tier, and the reason for that is I wanted to make blue buff on the Riven, which I thought was a good last item for her, and a good way to make use of the other tier that I had there. Very useful item on Riven, also a good item on Kane, which is another unit I could potentially look to play into if I would look to find that. Kane always fits well with Dusk team comp. All right, and now I believe I'm going to go to level 8. Yep, we're going to go to 8 here, and we're going to roll for a new Chosen. So I find a Cassiopeia. That's a great option. And that'll get us up to 4 Dusk, which will be good for Riven. And then I sell the Warwick. There we go. There's 2-star Thresh. I also want to get rid of that Maokai, but I really need to find a Chosen. I believe I'm going to pass on these Chosens that are being offered. They're just not what I'm looking for. But we get a Spirit version of Yuumi, and that's certainly playable. So we're going to go ahead and toss the Locket on Maokai, who's coming out of the comp after this. But we'll grab him for right now. And then I'm going to look to toss down I'm going to make the Morellos on Cassiopeia because she can use it decently. Not a great item on her, but it's not bad. It does mean that when she ults, she will put the healing debuff on anything that she hits. So as it turns out, we still don't have quite enough here. I wasn't able to get the Yuumi into the team comp, but we're starting to make something that's a bit stronger. I'm just hoping I haven't bled out too much health while I've been in the process of converting this team comp over. All right, so there we go. Now we have something that looks pretty solid. 4 Dust, 2 Mystic, 2 Spirit, and then the 2 Sharpshooter. Nidalee is only in here because I'm waiting for Jhin. I really want to find Jhin and make that replacement. I also find the Ezreal, which is interesting, but I don't know if Ez is going to be someone who comes into this team comp ultimately. I was thinking of making that sale, but then I finally find the... I do end up finally finding Jhin, who is what I'm looking for, and I believe I'm going to pick up the set here as well. So, yeah, and I don't have a great user for the Locket. I think I end up putting it on Thresh after this round. But you can see I've spent myself down to nothing. I kind of needed to do that, though. I needed to get a new team composition because what I had was not strong enough. And the stupid thing would have been to just sit there econing while I'm dying round after round. I needed to get stronger. Fortunately, I was able to get stronger. So you can see I'm still losing these rounds. I'm not strong enough right now. And the part of the issue is all my champions are like 1-star right now. I believe I have, what do I have? I have the Yuumi, who's 2-star because she's the Chosen. And I have the Thresh. And that's it. Everything else is 1-star, and that's the reason why I'm having difficulty here. Too many units that are not 2-starred, and so now I'm trying to set up my team here. I'm trying to put Cassiopeia and the Aatrox up front because the two of them really do synergize well together. Aatrox will pull units in to get with his chains, and then that sets them up for Cassiopeia's stun, so that works out really nicely. All right, what do we have here? And we've got a BF sword. Okay, well, that can go on to Jhin. He's the best person to make use of that. And I hopefully can get some more items to increase his damage. You note that I'm still rolling here. And again, I'm not strong enough. I can't look to just go to 9. I need to upgrade my board. And I get super lucky in the sense that I'm able to get double Cassiopeias and double Jhins. And so I get the Jhin 2-star. And this is what really salvages my game here because I had too weak of a board. I needed to hit some units. I needed to 2-star some stuff. And fortunately, I'm able to do that there. So now we have something that's pretty good. And now instead of losing all these rounds, hopefully I'm in a position where I can start winning some of these rounds. I am up against top comp right now in Trico's Warlord setup here, so I need to try to work to get through that Garen. Cassiopeia gets off an amazing ultimate, and then Set gets off a great dunk. So is this going to be enough to end this comp's winning streak? Well, looks like it actually is. So yeah, take that. We interrupt the long winning streak of Trico there, and I'm back on the positive side now of the ledger. And then I hit the 2-star Aatrox as well, which is, again, great. So I am... what is it? I'm going to go ahead and play the Kane over the set. I'll hold on to the set because I might be able to 2-star the set later on. But I want to play the Kane. He makes good use of Dusk. I also have the option later on if I would 2-star the Kane to sell Riven and then transfer some of those items over to Kane. That's a possibility. We'll see what we hit. Although with me running 4 Dusk, it's probably better to keep them on Riven just because she makes use of the 4 Dusk benefit. So we'll see. It just gives us another option. It'll take a few rounds for Kane to transform, but might as well get that out of the way sooner rather than later if we're going to do it. And like I said, I'll just hold on to set. You might notice, again, similar combo in a lot of these rounds that Aatrox pulls in the enemy units with his chains, and then we get the Cassiopeia ult. It's a really nice combo play from the two of them. So now I think I'm probably strong enough to go to 9, so you're going to see me not rolling here. And we'll look to start econing and hopefully make our way up to level 9 because I can see there's a lot of health on Dino Jesus and a lot of health on Trico, and it's going to take a lot of rounds to get through their health. But I'm well positioned to get a top 4 finish here, and that's always the goal in these matches of Teamfight Tactics. Other ways I can upgrade my board, I'm looking to find, I will look to sell the Yumi at level 9 and find a legendary chosen. That would be the goal there. Find a 5-cost chosen at level 9. So I can play Yumi until then. Also, if I find a Zillion, I would sell the Yumi for Zillion because that would keep Mystic in the comp. I would lose Spirit, but that's okay. I would also pick up Cultist, which is nice for a little bit of extra crowd control. The Galio you don't play for damage at this stage of the game. You're playing him for crowd control. And the Jin, fortunately, getting off some good damage here. Come on, Jin, get out of that stun. There we go. And that Ezreal just continuously attacking. But one thing about Ez is he's basically a support unit. He doesn't really do damage. And the Yumi heals, the Yumi heals, the Yumi heals. So goodbye to that player, Dr. White Cat. Going to knock them out, and now have a chance to pick up another item here. So I'll have some different options. I'm looking at different things here. A lot of stuff that would be good for Jin. And I believe I'm going to take the Yasuo here, both because Giant Slayer is a good item on Jin, and because Yasuo is a 5-cost champ. So it does make a difference if you're getting a 5-cost unit to sell as opposed to like I think there was a Nidalee on here who was a 1-cost unit. So it does make a difference. And like I said, Giant Slayer is a good item for Jin. So I will not play the Yasuo. I will sell the Yasuo because I want that item on Jin, who along with Riven is kind of my 2 carries right now. So there we go. We'll move that item over. There we go. And I am just looking to get up to level 9, but it's going to take a little while to get there. I have to get up to 50 gold first, so I'm getting max income each round, and then it'll take a couple rounds after that. So, like I said, I need to just continue winning rounds, continue not taking damage. I believe I've gone through most of the surviving comps and beaten most of them at this point. There's a Sharpshooter's comp, there's that Warlord comp, there's that Moonlight Aphelios comp. Those are the main ones that we're contending with right now. But I think I've beaten most of them on the way through. Here's the Warlord comp again. It's always easy to tell this one because they've got the Warlord Garen. Now, one thing about this comp is you note that there's a Warlord's banner on an Aatrox, which is kind of a weird choice, honestly. There are a lot of units that are like that you can put the Warlord's banner on that are much better. Set in particular is a really good choice to put the Warlord's banner on because he makes really good use of the extra health and also makes great use of the extra spell power. The extra spell power just powers up his dunks to such a huge extent. So I think that was a mistake to put the Warlord's banner on an Aatrox, who doesn't really make great use of the extra health and the extra spell power. I mean, I guess the chains pull in for a little bit more damage, but like I said, it's not really the ideal unit that you would want to put that Warlord's banner on. There's some better choices. So a bit of a questionable decision there, but that player is looking to go towards 9 Warlords, and if they can make it to 9 Warlords, I think they're still looking for a Azir, then the comp's going to be very strong. So this is a kind of an unusual comp. This is a big-time keeper comp that's playing through a chosen version of 3-star Kennen. We did manage to pull in the enemy Jin. Now, the problem is we didn't kill the enemy Jin. We just pulled it in, and the Lee Sin was kicking around our Riven, so we weren't able to get off much damage there. So my win streak does come to an end, which is a little bit sad. Here, though, we managed to find double Zillions, which is, again, fantastic. We'll just replace the Yumi with the Zillion, because that'll get us Cultist, get another very powerful legendary unit in there. I'm trying to remember if I keep the Yumi until level 9 or not. I'm not sure. We'll have to. I'm casting this game from memory. I played it a little while ago, and we'll have to see which I end up doing here. There's a good argument for keeping the Yumi in, since the Yumi is a chosen and already 2-starred. So, obviously, if I sold it, I'd have the option to find a new chosen, but you do lose a lot of power by not having any chosen in the game. All right, so here, so I am going to sell that. And now I am going to roll, and I actually find another set, which is really interesting. And then here, I'm going to 2-star that. So I am rolling here at 8. I don't know if that's the right decision. Might have been better to try to go to 9. And go ahead and find that Riven. So I will go ahead and put the blue buff on the Kayn and move the other tank items over to Riven. And there we go. There's the redemption. So I went ahead and rolled there. Was that the right decision? I'm not sure. Could have looked to go to 9 and play for a legendary unit there, but I end up getting the Keeper Riven, who is a great chosen as well. I didn't need a Dusk Riven because I already had the 4 Dusk in, although I guess I could have dropped Thresh if I found a Dusk Riven. So was close to the end of the game, and I guess with it being stage 6, I just was thinking I don't want to lose more health here. Like, see, I lost that round anyway, and I think that I guess that did make sense. I probably didn't have enough time to look to go to 9 there. Although now that almost my entire board is 2-starred, oh, look at this, we managed to find the 2-star set. So I've got to play the 2-star set. Something's got to come out here, right? So I've got to take something out of the team comp. I was trying to figure out what that was. And here I make a mistake. I roll a little bit, but there's not really anything to roll for. My whole board is 2-starred. So this is a major mistake. I should not have rolled there. That was like 6 gold that I just tossed away. So ultimately I decide I'm going to take out the Aatrox. I end up holding on to the Aatrox. And again, I'm still rolling here. And this is a mistake. There's no reason to roll here. Like, what am I rolling for? My whole board is 2-starred. So I'm not rolling for anything. But I did have to play the set. There's no question about that. What I should have done is just stop rolling and then look to try and push towards hitting level 9 so that I can put that Aatrox back into the team comp. So we actually do get off a really good set dunk here. This is the Warlord player that we've been up against a number of times before. And so that's going to be enough if all we need to do is have Set get that dunk off. So yeah, we are going to be able to win that. And now I saw the Shen, and I belatedly realized, oh wait, I should just be trying to get back up to level 9 because Aatrox is the perfect unit to put in here. Aatrox will give me both Cultist and Vanguard. And again, we'll get back to that combo where he pulls in units for Cassiopeia to then ult. So I really, really should be looking just to push levels here. There's not much point in rolling. Like you want to think about when and how to roll. Like there needs to be a purpose for rolling. By the way, Trico's comp is now at Warlord 9, although I think it was Warlord 9 when I just won that last round. And right now there just isn't really a point for rolling. I guess I could 2-star the Zilean or 2-star the Kayn, but I have vastly better odds to find them at level 9 as opposed to finding them at level 8. So it doesn't make any sense to roll here. Even if I'm about to die, it still doesn't make sense to roll here because I can't really find anything. So we end up winning this round, and that was the keeper player, and we're able to knock them out. But yeah, as of right now, we're just trying to get to level 9. All right, so we have more options here. What do we want to look to find? So I'm actually going to do something unusual. I don't take a completed item. I take a component here off the carousel. And the reason for that is I want to make Infinity Edge on Jhin. It's a really good item on Jhin. He gets that guaranteed 4th shot crit. Infinity Edge will power that up so that he's getting gets that guaranteed crit and does the extra damage on it. So I go for that. Other options, I certainly could have looked to choose the Zeeks. That would also have been an option. But I'm not sure that I really have another great user for the Zeeks. Like I don't have an Ezreal or an Azir who also make good use of attack speed. So ultimately I made that decision, and I don't know, I think it worked out okay. As far as comps go right now, so we've got the Warlord 9 team composition, and which has now found the Azir. And the other one, Dino Jesus, has the Moonlight team comp, the Moonlight plus Aphelios. So which one we're going to see here? We end up getting the Warlord team comp is what we've ended up rolling. And I've been seeing this team comp an awful lot. By the way, Set, just that amazing dunk, hits the entire middle of the enemy team. Does so much damage. So yeah, a good example of a unit that I wasn't planning on playing in this comp, but just ends up being really, really good for us regardless. Let's see, so he's going to get that kill off. Can he kill the Jhin? He still has the revive from Zilean. Come on, Set. You know you can do this. Come on, come on, come on. Getting close. Oh! That's disappointing. But yeah, Set did 10,000 damage in that fight. So now I'm down to 1 life. I can't quite make it to level 9, except, aha, if I sell the Zilean, I can make it to level 9. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and this will put the Aatrox back in. It really hurts selling that Zilean because it means I'm probably not going to make Zilean 2-star, but I'm on 10 HP, so I have to do that. I have just barely enough income to make it there, literally with 0 gold in the bank. So just exactly enough income to make it there. And this is my comp. This is as strong as I can get right now. So just got to cross my fingers and hope for the best. I am up against the Moonlight comp, the Moonlight Aphelios comp, but the good news for me is this person has not made Aphelios 4-star. They only have the 3-star version of it, and that's really useful because the 4-star version of Aphelios is much stronger, and we are in fact going to be able to punch through the front line, and it turns out this is not actually going to be that close. It's going to win pretty convincingly, and so that means it's going to come down to me against the Warlord player, against Trico, this person who still is running the same Chosen from the very beginning of the game. They got a Warlord Garen, and they were able to 3-star the Garen, which again is not something I'd encourage. I mean, it's not bad to have 3-star Garen, but I do not encourage sitting around trying to 3-star 1-cost units unless it's something like Yasuo reroll or Diana reroll or something like that. So this person they were able to get a Warlord's banner, so they were able to take that Garen Chosen and get up to Warlord 9. They didn't put the Warlord's banner on the right person, I would argue. By the way, I get a nice item for Riven here. I find an Azir, but I don't really have a slot to play Azir in this team comp. We'll put the Ionic Spark on Riven. Wish I had a place to put in the like I could take out Zillion, but I don't want to lose Mystic. I don't want to lose Cultist. That seems silly. I will hold on to these in case I 2-star it, but I'm not really finding much. I feel like my comp is kind of set at this point. Like, I feel like I've kind of got what I'm looking for. I'm looking for more Canes. I guess I could have taken Kane out. Oh well. Maybe that would have been better. So maybe I should have taken out the Kane, because that would have put Keeper. Oh no, I already have Keeper in play. So no, I think the Kane is right to put in there. Kane gives me backline access, which is really useful against this team composition. And Set gets off another amazing dunk. Great stuff. And so this fight's looking reasonably good. I mean, it's a pretty good Cassiopeia ult, but Set is still alive, Riven is still alive. They're some of my main damage dealers. As long as I can get a kill on that Katarina, we should be good to go. And looks like we've got this. So I just need to win one more round, and we should be good to go. Unfortunately, though, I'm going to watch the other person's team comp here. Yeah, I find the Zillion. Yeah, there's the Zillion 2-star. So if I hadn't rolled that money like an idiot earlier in the game, I would have had Zillion 2-star here. But watch, look, this person's got 8 Katarinas, and they're rolling for that last cat. And are they going to find it? Are they going to find it? Are they? Well, unfortunately, yeah, with their last gold, they're going to find it, and it's cat 3-star. I was like, uh-oh, well, I guess I'm not going to win this one. I was watching to see if they would move their team, but since they didn't move their champs, I was like, well, if they don't move, I'm not going to move my champs. I also I was typing in. I was kind of hoping you wouldn't find that, but then I decided no, let's not type that. So I mean, you're thinking, well, I'm not going to win this. They've got the 3-star Katarina with Warlord 9, so obviously I'm going to lose, right? It's like, well, actually, not so much. We get the Guardian Angel proc and we kill the Katarina, and it's like, oh wait, actually, yeah, I can still win this anyway. And the reason for that is the game's not about traits. I've said this many times. It's not a game about traits. It's about playing strong boards. And the fact that that person still had so many low-cost Warlord units in there meant that their comp did, in fact, get outscaled by mine. Because they still got a Vi in there, and a Nidalee in there, and a Shinjo in there, and a Jarvan in there. And those units aren't very good at the end of the game. So remember, it's not about traits. It's about building strong team comps. All right, well, this was a last look at a game from Set 4. I hope you enjoyed this. Let's hope things go well in Set 4.5. Until then, have a good one. See you guys soon.